回来。本周美股虽然是下跌了3%，但是呢，我们的首席操盘手沃伦老师却是收获颇丰。我们来听一下他的秘诀是什么。
那么今天呢，这个股市啊还是跌了300多点，因为就业数据啊显示美国的经济还在减缓当中啊，就是整个的就业人数没有达到市场的预期。那还有一种说法呢，就是认为好像美联储看到了今天那个时薪的增长，它的幅度呢可能是有点快，那么9月还有加息的这种概率。大家呢看这个图一啊就知道是一个连续2天下跌反弹再下跌的一个过程，所以总体来看的话，不是很妙哈。大家可以看一下这个我讲的一个叫 VXX， 其实这只股票呢，大家只要买涨，它其实是一个恐慌性指标，就是当大家感到恐慌的时候呢，这个指标会涨。那么大家可以看，它最近从8月份呢，这个涨幅是非常可观的。第三呢，我交易记录显示呢，我在8月20号买了这个股票2块9毛。在8月24号4天呢，就出掉这个股票12块多，整整接近翻了5个倍，而投入的钱呢才2000多块，而赚了1万块钱。那您想知道如何去赚这个钱吗？那么我欢迎您呢，就是拨打这个800-958-8561，或者加我的微信，因为很多朋友现在加我微信跟我聊天他们说这个股市。对于一般老实的投资人，就不知道怎么操作股票的投资人，我建议呢，赶快给你的股票买一点保险。我不是诅咒这个股票，我真的觉得这个股市，如果大家回顾我2个月之前的每周华尔街，我说大家要警惕中国、美国的股票都得跌。我的总编跟我说 ，Warren 怎么回事？你们为什么每天选的文章都是那么负面的我觉得总要就是说，我们其实整个的经济的状态不是很好，大家还是那句话，用非常客观的事情去看一些问题。那么大家可以看最后一张，麻烦导播给我们看一个，就是VXX 的走势，大家可以看到它的走势非常的强，也就是说这个股市当中你一定会有赚钱的机会。那沃伦王呢，今天非常想邀请您参加我的这个就是我的赚钱的一个俱乐部我希望您赶快拨打800-958-8561来就是说获得我下一周准备，因为马上周二要开盘了，那么下周二将是哪一只股票能够有赚1万块钱的机会，投注只要2000块钱。我们台长会说，沃伦王你好忽悠啊，是不是有这种好事啊？但的确我的交易记录都是真实的，所以欢迎大家呢一定赶快拨打800-958-8561，然后加我的微信沃伦王2008。好，
艾略特波浪理论恐怕是华尔街最受欢迎的市场预测理论之一了。该理论对于投资人的心理进行分析，让交易员们可以准确地预测市场的走向。而就在此番美股大跌前的1个月呢，波浪理论的首席研究专家 Steve Harchberg 已经是在 Money Show 的活动当中明确地为投资人预言了本轮的急跌。想要跟着专家学习波浪理论，准确地预测市场吗？接下来就让我们来听一下他当时是怎么分析的吧。
Now, we talked about a bubble earlier. Are we in a bubble here? Is this a mania, or is the stock market on healthy footing? Well, but that is probably the worst measure of valuation in our estimation because of a number of factors. Number one, earnings are ephemeral. There's many definitions of earnings. There's as reported earnings, there's operating earnings, there's pro forma earnings, and that's just simply earnings before the bad stuff. So what we'd like to look at in terms of valuation is the dividend. Two reasons, or a couple reasons. Number one, dividends aren't ephemeral. Either you pay them or you don't. Okay, there's no manipulating dividends. Either you pay out a dividend or not. Number two is that when you look at the total return equation of investing, when you invest and you buy, say, a stock, what are you hoping for? Well, there's two components. One is capital gains. Is the stock going to go up in price? And number two is its dividend, its income. So dividend is actually part of the total return equation. In fact, it's probably one of the most important parts. Bob published this chart in the LEOA Theorist, and it shows something interesting. And in our estimation, it's a bubble through and through. The Dow's annual dividend payout has been less than 3% for 235 of the past 246 months. It's a stunning 96% of the time since January 1995, which was over 20 years ago. In fact, prior to the bull market start in 1982, the longest duration that the dividend yield was under 3% was literally 1 month before the 1929 high. Okay? So this is telling you that we're as overvalued now as we were. In fact, we're more overvalued now than we were at the high day in 1929, a level from which the Dow declined 89%. Okay, companies simply aren't paying out dividends. We're getting no income. And when we get no income in the aggregate, what do we have to hope for? Capital gains. We have to hope that we're going to sell our share of stock to someone at a higher price than they bought it from us. And that's all we can hope for. And if we're wrong and the stock goes down, there's very minuscule levels of income, of dividends, to cushion us on the downside. Optimism is at an extreme. This is another chart from the theorist showing that fund managers have been maxed out now for 6 years. In other words, this shows the percentage of cash in their portfolios. Okay, we have this inverted to align up with stocks. As you can see by the black on the right side, they've had under 4% for one of the longest durations in history. Okay? Now look at the bottom line in the 1980s. See where the cash level spiked to over 12%? Well, what happened from the 70s to the early 1980s? Well, we were in a bear market. All right? Stocks were going down. Fund managers were really worried that the bear market would continue. So much so that they held high levels of cash in their mutual fund portfolios in anticipation of redemptions, and they were trying to hold a lot of cash because they thought the market was going to go down and they could buy shares at a cheaper price. Well, of course, the market bottomed in 1982. We had that great liftoff in the great bull market. All through the 1980s and 1990s, stocks were rallying. We had the crash in 87, of course. But look at how high levels of cash relative to the assets were in mutual fund portfolios. They're upwards of 10, 9, 8, 7%. Okay? It's a true wall of worry. They'd say a bull market climbs a wall of worry. Well, this is what a wall of worry looks like. People are worried. Mutual fund managers are worried. Now look where they are right now. Okay? They have hardly any cash in their portfolios. Why is that? Because they're hugely optimistic. This is another chart from the theorist that I thought was interesting. And it goes way back. And it shows, this is data, the stock market data is from Robert Shiller. And this was put together by the Lions Fund Management Company. It's the S&P back to 1870. And it simply shows the calculated extremes of the deviation from a centered trend line. So that blue line you see rising through the chart is a centered line of the market's returns. It's a regression analysis of the market's returns since 1870. And you can see how far above the line, that blue line, the regression analysis we are. All right? So we've had really a 15-year period where we've had 3 peaks above this line. And it's very similar to the 3 peaks that occurred in 1901, 1906, and 1909, which are on the left side of the chart. That led to that major bear market, 1907 through 1914, where we had that. And then the middle 3 extremes were back in the late 60s, 65, 68, and 72. What was going on? Well, the market peaked in 66, 68, and 1973. We had major bear markets. And then, of course, we have these 3 peaks right now. So this one may not be the biggest in terms of deviation, but it's certainly the longest lasting. So this is another bubble extreme that we use to measure how far above trend we are. Not only are mutual fund managers optimistic, but this chart shows the investors' intelligence measure of advisors. And then we've just plotted the bears. We've inverted it to align with stock prices. And Bob put a real long-term 200-week moving average on it. We showed a 30-week moving average in our letter. And Bob said, you know what, how this has got to be extreme over a long period of time. So we went back and put a 200-week moving average, and you can see that the percentage of bears is at an all-time historic low. In other words, advisors are not concerned at all with what's going to happen on the downside of the market. And you can see that in the level of bearishness that they present. Now, another extreme as it's measured, is seen in the IPO market. Now, I thought this was fascinating when I saw this article, which is just a couple months ago in May. And it was from Bloomberg saying, who cares that IPOs lack accounting standards? With a question, and the answer, nobody really. Nobody really cares. And this statistic jumped out at me. About 30% of companies that went public last year acknowledged that they were at serious risk of incorrectly reporting their financial information. So think about that for a second. 30%, almost a third of all companies that issued initial public offerings last year said, you know what? The numbers that we gave you might not be correct. That's an astounding figure. And the fact is, nobody really cared about it. And that's even more astounding. And why is that? Because we're at record levels of optimism throughout our country and the economy and the market. And when people are record optimistic and they don't care about what's going to happen, they don't care if a company has misstates their earnings because they're so sure that the market will continue to the upside. And in fact, and it shows the percentage of unprofitable IPO companies on a rolling 6-month basis. We plotted against the S&P. We titled the chart, No Profits, No Problem. And this is astounding, but 78%, right? People are buying them. Why? Because they're so sure that the stock price is going to go up. They don't care the company's making any money. And this 78% just eclipsed the extreme of 76%, the prior extreme. When did that occur? As you can see, it occurred with the NASDAQ mania, the technology mania, in the late 1990s.
节目的最后呢，来注意一下下周有哪些重要的经济数据和公司业绩。下周四将会有例行公布的申请失业金的人数，而下周五呢将会有密歇根消费者信心指数公布。而下周重要的公司业绩有中概股方面的英利绿色能源、前不久上市的茶饮公司 David's Tea 以及瑜伽服生产商 Lululemon。想要随时随刻获得我们的资讯信息，请扫描屏幕上的二维码，关注中文投资网的微信公众号，或者拨打我们的免费电话800-958-8561。好了，本期的节目呢就到这里了，我们下期再见。